gorgeous cherubs. I hope you're all doing well. Last week, if you remember, as I was speaking with you, we had rain in biblical proportions, and I was expecting Noah for lunch because I live near the sea and he could park his ark and wander down my vertical garden and have a big baguette with me. Now, in the last few days, we've had this absolutely gorgeous, delicious heat wave. I absolutely love it. Apart from, I had a psychotic gnat in my bedroom last night that decided to attack underneath my eyes. So it looks like there's 3 of us speaking to you today, but there's only me, complete with that. Seriously, what is going on? Why attack me there? You know, it looks like frog spawn, but like they're going to hatch into full-on frogs, not even do the tadpole bit. Anyway, I promise you a video every Monday, and you know me, I don't really, I'm not worried about all that. I'd never edit these things, so I'm going to go for it. I've decided that I'm going to take a deep breath and just be calm and not worry about the amphibians that are about to hatch on my face, and share some breathing exercises with you. Because breathing is free and we need to take a big deep breath because it's the start of the summer holidays and hopefully we're going to have a little bit more freedom than we did last year. So I'm going to get on with it and stop waffling. Breathing is fantastic because it gets all that serotonin and dopamine up from the gut. It's fantastic. So if you don't have much mobility, if you're in hospital, you can do these. You can use your breath to really help boost your mood, get rid of anger, calm your cells down. It can be used in all sorts of ways. You just don't want to be on public transport looking like you're having some kind of gigantic asthma attack. Obviously some of them you would do in private, well, unless you're me, of course, in which case you just watch your children run for the hills and say, shall we pretend we're adopted again? So I really must behave. I don't know I'm so sorry. I don't know what's got into me today. Maybe the gnat injected me with, I don't know, something. Anyway, so the first one we're going to do is lion breathing. And I love this because it opens up the diaphragm as well. And that's really important because very often when we're under a lot of fight or flight, we don't breathe as deeply as we should. And so we can hyperventilate, we can have anxiety attacks, panic attacks. So it's a really good one to do. But obviously this one, do privately because it involves kind of blowing out your anger, and if you're sat behind someone on the train and you suddenly blow on their head, they're going to be a bit livid. So we don't want this. We need the breath to keep us calm. So you literally breathe in through your nose. It's really important. If you can breathe through your nose, always breathe in through your nose. I shut my eyes because it just helps me imagine it better. And then all the things that have put me into fight or flight, or the things I'm worried about, things I'm overwhelmed about. And actually today I've got all 3. I'm being honest with you, I have. It's probably the gnat's fault. Anyway, so I'm going to blow it out. I'm going to blow away that gnat. So tonight, you will leave me alone and I will not wake up with blooming concrete sacks under my eyes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So you breathe in, down to that diaphragm. And then when you breathe out, I use my hands as well. I go, or you could even roar. Should I do a roar? I'm in the mood. I don't care. Here we go. This is what I do with my rainbow kids. We actually turn it into a lion roar. And we all go on the veranda outside my therapy chalet and we shout as loud as we can. I don't have neighbours too close, so it's okay. Obviously, if you live in a flat above people, you might need to go somewhere else. Right. Soundproof your walls. Anyway, so you just breathe in deep to your tummies and then you can go like that. That actually felt pretty good. I'm going to do it again. Just shoves it out. Shoves it out. Gets rid of it. Send it away. The next thing you can do is you can hiss it out. So you could be a snake. And, this is really lovely when you're working with kids and you can, even with adults, just, it's good. I like to picture things, when I do things, I like to picture them and why they work. So the roar sound really gets your tummy going, gets all those happy hormones and coping chemicals coming up. Because don't forget, 90% of our serotonin is in our gut. I'm always saying this. I bet you want to kill me. But when you do the sound of a snake, it's more, you're bringing it up. You're bringing that anger up. You're starting to open up the diaphragm. So we're going to do that one now. So you're breathing in and you're going to hiss away your worries. I'm Italian, so I need arm movements. My snake has arms. but you could do it like that if you want. Look, I'll try. Still works, but I prefer it with the arms. Honestly, you might think I'm a little bit crazy, but there's a lot of science going on here. I promise you, it's fantastic. It's really opening up your lungs, and lungs are about relationships, what we take in, what we take out, our relationships with ourselves, the world around us, you know, and on an immunity level as well, to get those coping chemicals up from the gut, to open up the heart. This gets us out of fight or flight, boosts immunity. It actually boosts immunity, crucial during these times, because we don't want to go back into this awful lockdown anymore. We've had enough of it. So the next one I like to do very often with the kids is, or with adults who I'm working with, not just kids, is to breathe in, but we breathe into our tummies, and it's called a power breath. I kind of made this one up, but it's a power breath. You breathe into your tummies, but then you bring your arms up. So if you're in a wheelchair, you could do it. You could get somebody to help assist you if you need it. And then when you breathe out through your mouths, you sprinkle, just sprinkle like a golden shower, or the power of the universe, or whatever works for you. You know, we're all different. So for me today, I'm going to have a little bit of a golden shower. It's hot, and I feel like having a shower of goldenness because I'm still feeling a little bit cross with the gnat. So here we go. We breathe in through the nose to the tummy, lift the arms up at the same time, bring them to a point above your head like that, and then sprinkle. And because we don't finish here, I mean, it can be photographed now, we go right out, don't we? You can actually feel that when you do it. I can actually feel that inside my body, and it's really empowering. And if you want to stand up, do the mountain pose in yoga and stand up, you can do that. That's really empowering. It's like drawing it up from the ground and pulling it in from the sky and just filling yourselves with this energy, because we do have days where it's difficult to focus or not feel motivated, and this is a really good one to get that attention going, that focus, that motivation, that power, that, do you know what, I'm not having any rubbish off anybody today. I'm superwoman or superman or super child. Works. Right, I'm going to do another one. I need it today. You could put it to songs. You could put it to songs, you could put it to stories. You don't just need to make your child sit opposite you and say, right now, we're going to do breath work, because that sounds a bit boring. You could put it into songs, put it into stories, play with it, make lucky dips with it. You know how I am. Play with it, make it your own, you know? So the next one we're going to do, I've written a few down here, so I don't want to miss any out. Oh, sunflower breathing. I say sunflower breathing. You could choose your own flower. The reason sunflowers are my very favourite flower, by the way, is because, guess what? This is absolutely amazing. Well, in Italian, they literally translate as turning to the sun, and the same in French, and tourne sol, it turns to the sun. But when the sun, because they do, their little faces follow the sun all the way around, everywhere, you know, when the sun's out. What do they do when the sun isn't out and it's cloudy or rainy? They face each other. Do you know, I honestly think that's one of the most beautiful things I have ever heard in nature. So I always breathe in a big fat sunflower. But you breathe in, you might like tulips, you might like roses, you might have a flower from your imagination. So what we're going to do is breathe it in, but we're going to imagine it's really big, and we're breathing in its beautiful smell and its gorgeous energy and its beauty. We're going to breathe it in and fill ourselves with it. And then gently breathe out. So it's not as fierce, the breathing out this time. We've blown out all the anger and frustration, the fight or flight, and now we're beginning to fill ourselves with loveliness, ready for our day, ready for our week. I do breathing exercises every day. I love them, honestly, throughout the day. So here we go. Here's my big sunflower, but you can have whatever flower you want. I'm going to hold its face because I always just want to be immersed. So I'm breathing in through my nose to my tummy. I'm imagining I'm breathing all that flower in, and then I'm breathing back to it, and then breathe in, and then breathe back to it. Breathe in. So beautiful, that one. You can't help but feel full of happiness when you do that one. And I've done it, you know, when I've had people in hospital, I've sat in my car and breathed in a flower before I've gone in, and then usually seen someone next to me looking at me as if I'm a bit of a weirdo. But that's normal in my life. You know, you could do it before you go to hospital or go to the loo and do it, you know. They use them, use these things. They're tools for your toolboxes to be used at any time. So, you know, you must. It's brilliant. So the next one I want to show you is soup breathing. Bit hot today, I must admit. Perhaps I should have had one last week when Noah came for his baguette. But it's always a handy one, you know. So you literally imagine you're holding a bowl of soup, and this time you're breathing in really, really, really gently. That sends all the blood and oxygen up to the brain, so it fires up the brain, gets you really ready to focus, to concentrate. So although you're having great fun with it, on a neuroscientific level, all these great things are happening. Your diaphragm's opening, the gut's on the move. You know, it's, do you know, we are deliciously and exquisitely made. I do get so excited. I just thought I'd let you know that. So anyway, here's my soup. Don't know what flavour I've got today. Butternut squash is a superfood. Let's have some of that. Right, so I'm going to breathe in through my nose really gently. And the idea is when you blow out through your mouth, you do it very, 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 very gently and finely. This also helps to push all that dopamine and serotonin up from the gut and to fire up the brain. So it's a fantastic one to do before exams, before job interviews, you know. Don't do it in front of your prospective employer, obviously. And yeah, so it could be used anywhere, before bed, if you need to just relax because you feel a little bit, you know, up there. I use it all the time. So here we go, here's my soup. But you've got to blow it really gently and finely, so it's a different outward breath. If you imagine you had somebody opposite you and you had soup, you wouldn't blow it really vigorously all over them and leave them spattered with burning butternut squash soup. They would be a bit cross. So we're doing it finely, finely, to fire up our brains. Here we go. See, you could barely hear me because it's so fine. It's very different from the lion breath, the power breath, the flower breathing. It's much, 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 much finer. So you're breathing it in again because you don't want to snort hot soup either and scald your brain. Blow out finely. And that helps your energy levels just drop, just ground you, just drop. When you breathe finely, it's like the mummy hug in yoga. It drops the energy. It helps bring you calm. It helps bring that clarity, that ability to concentrate. So I know I have a laugh with you all, but I like, you know, I just think you learn, and I can't put on and be someone I'm not. I'm so sorry, I just can't. I just think it's so lovely to share, and it makes me excited. And so just, you'll have to just put up with me. Anyway, so that's the soup one. One more, so I show you how fine the breath is. And my lips will probably go all wrinkly and look like a cat's bottom. In through the nose. Gently out through the mouth. So I fired up my brain. So I'm ready to write, my article to accompany this video for Anna Kennedy online. Wonderful autism charity that I am so, so proud to be the wellbeing charity ambassador for. I still can't believe it. I don't know why I'm whispering. I think I do that sometimes because I think it's going to be taken away. It's funny, isn't it? Habits. Need to find out a breathing pattern to break habits. Help me people. So the last one I wanted to share with you, the candle breath. This is even finer than the soup breath. So you imagine you definitely wouldn't want to blow hot wax all over everybody, would you? That would be really, really mean of you. So if you imagine you're holding like a pillar candle, imagine like one of those Roman candles, and you're breathing in very finely through your nose, so you're really firing up the brain, and then you're going to breathe out super, super softly towards the flame, but almost imagine you barely want a flicker. You're barely making a flicker. So this is supercharging the brain. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's really drawing up that happy hormones, the attention, the focus hormone, the motivation hormone, all of that's coming up from the gut. So I'm going to do just a couple of those. So really finely in through the nose and super, super finely out of the mouth. So you can see we've come down in levels as to how hard we breathe out. Each breaths do different things. It can energize us, but it can calm us down. It is our superpower, you know, so take a deep breath, everybody, you know, decide what you need for the day. You can even make a breath box, you know, imagine that, a breathing box where you could put in all different types of breathing and have lucky dips with it, you know, play with it. Tell the kids what it does, involve them in the science of it because they love it. It empowers them, it puts them in charge, it gives them the tools to use. And it really, honestly, if you can do that for the kids, they've got that for life, you know. I've 14 years I've been doing this work and I still have ex-rainbow kids who are now, I'm gonna sound like a granny, but they're, you know, 20, 21, and they say to me, do you know what, they keep in touch. Oh my God, I've got so many children. And they write to me and they say, we still do these breathing exercises, we still do these little things. So how lovely is that to know? Anyway, where was I? The candle. So here we go. I'm going to do it one more time. So I'm breathing in, I'm going to lean in just because I don't want to scare you all, just because the breathing is so fine. I'm imagining my candles barely flickering. So your breath controls, it actually controls your heart rate, your blood pressure, your brain, how shiny it's feeling, how focused it's feeling, and the movement of all those happy hormones and coping chemicals from the gut. It can help with sleep, it can boost immunity, it can boost oxytocin. So it really is a superpower. So have fun with it, my darlings. God, I've gone on for 16 minutes and 56 seconds. I've really waffled on today. I did get a bit carried away, but I hope it's been useful. I will see you next week. And just enjoy this sunshine, you know, get out in nature. That's pure serotonin in itself. If you can, you know, if you don't have a garden, get out in a park, hide behind a tree and do some of the breathing if it's the more, you know, energetic ones. Otherwise you could just do it anywhere. You could do it quite discreetly anywhere else, the other ones, you know. So use them, have fun with them, just have fun. It's nearly the summer holidays. We are hopefully coming out of lockdown. Let's hold on to our positives. And oh, the bit I always forget to say, if you like my videos, there's a little thumb you can press. And I've been a bit badly behaved on this one, so I'm a bit frightened I might get a few of those. Oh no. And if you really can put up with me, or you think that what I do is useful for anybody you know for whatever reason, please pass it on. I don't earn anything from this. I set it up during COVID for free. You know, I'm hardly a YouTuber, I mean really. So please share it. It's not for any monetary gain. It's just because I love sharing, you know, I really do. And I don't want to stop now. I'm sorry, you're going to have to put up with me. I'm like a little barnacle clinging onto a rock. And I shall leave you with that lovely thought. I have to go and do some calming breaths now. Take care, everybody. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye, my darlings.